Hello y'all. So I wanted to give y'all my end of the week experience with my new job. I did not do no videos over the past couple of days because I've been off. I knew I was going to be off on Thursday. I did not necessarily know I was going to be off Friday, the day. Friday I took the day off. I had a little text message exchange with my manager, and they was gracious enough to allow me off because they impromptu messaged me, said can I come in at 3 today, and it was 9 o'clock in the morning. Now granted, there was enough time for me to get ready and get up, but y'all know this time of the year is not the best for me. Between November and February, well, not between those months, but November specifically and like the end of February are my worst weeks for me. Give y'all a little bit of background. I had so much, passing in my family with close family members in November. My grandmother was passed away on November 17th. My great grandmother passed from Alzheimer's on November the 2nd. My great aunt Mayo just passed around the 5th of November. She was the oldest matriarch in the family. She was 104 years old. My darn going cousin was murdered tragically around the end of November, going into like the first week of December. Almost, and it's tragic in a way because it happened the same year that I was going through my cancer and my Crohn's disease diagnosis. This was back before Crohn's was well known and there was treatments and stuff for it. So I was simultaneously dealing with both of those ailments. And the person that murdered my cousin was trying to almost, I don't even know if I want to get into that. That's a little bit too heavy. I'm gonna, but let's just say it could have been me and a lot worse. But instead, unfortunately, my cousin was the one that was tragically murdered in place of me. So yeah, DivaWuan has gone through a lot in her life. February is my grandmother's birthday, and she said she shares the same birthday as the egg. Y'all know I don't care for the egg donor, but my grandmother pretty much raised me. So this time of the year, I tend to break down. And my great aunt Carrie also passed away on the 21st, the day before my grandmother's birthday. So you can see why, and she just passed in 2019. So these times of the year is not darn going ideal for me, honey. And now with me being on estradiol, I tend to break down a lot more. Like stuff that I could easily used to hold in prior to transitioning, I now will bust down in tears. Like today, I ended up darn going, and I'm going to darn gonna make up for it. I'm about, after I done with this video, I'm going to do at least a half hour worth of exercising because I had no business going through a whole thing of gummies. I sat right here in this bed, well, laid my ass in the bed, even worse. I went through a whole thing of Haribo gummies. I haven't had gummies in years, but because I've been so depressed and stressed and everything, I just darn gonna had a sugar craving. And y'all know I try not to get with sugar because sugar's not healthy for you, girl. It's not healthy for anybody. I try to eat it in moderation. Like I did say, okay, I'm going to treat it myself to a little gummy. The package should have lasted me a whole week. I ate it within an hour. And then I didn't stop there. I went and got a whole thing of darn gone ranch Pringles, and I consumed the entire can of ranch Pringles. Then I darn gone consumed a little thing of veggie fries as well. I'm just snacking away, consuming the carbs and sugar and everything else, knowing that I'm trying to get this body, to continue this body to be snatched and whatnot. Now, thankfully, I work out enough and I still overall eat healthy and stuff. Like after I do my exercise, I'm going to put in some vegetable, dumplings on the stove. And that's going to give me my post-protein, post my workout. That would give me my 26 grams of plus of protein. I got my veggie juice I got from Walmart just yesterday. I got my green smoothie from Boathouse Farms. I got my kombucha because as I'm getting older, I do need those probiotics in my body. So And since I ain't got the coins and stuff to get my vitamins and stuff just yet, we can't go to the GNC, we can't go to the vitamin shop just yet. As a girl is getting older, as my body's going through changes, you notice, I know the stuff ain't limber like it used to no more. I need to get my flexibility and stuff back as I get older, because I'm not trying to lose it just yet. So as I go through all these changes, and I had to break down, I said, okay. And y'all remember when I was walking home from work Wednesday, although y'all probably going to see this video a little bit earlier before that video. I don't know. I probably will continue the videos in continuity. I probably will. But I want y'all to see this video, though, before I go live. I'm thinking of going live. Now that I know next week I'm going to be off the same days. I'm going to be off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I told her that I had my appointment. I didn't tell her the appointment. I just said I had an urgent doctor appointment, but it's my HRT appointment for my hormone medication. So that's the 24th. So I knew I had Friday off, but she done gave me Saturday and Thursday off as well. So I'm going to give y'all a choice whether y'all want me to go live on Thursday or Friday. The demon has been behaving as far as going to work. So I will be able to probably not have to deal with her being off any of those 2 days. So we're going to choose either Thursday or Friday. And of course, it's going to be a late night live until the demon is up out of here. Although it seems like y'all loving the late night lives better than anything anyway. So that works out for most of y'all. But yeah, after Wednesday, and I was in there with the 2 young boys or whatnots. It had me doggone questioning some decisions. And thank goodness that the manager, the supervisor on duty, is one of my old colleagues and friends from work, back when I was working at the Chick-fil-A or whatnots. She was very understanding of my situation. Now, and maybe I might do need to sit down and at least explain this to my manager. Because I still have not addressed the awkwardness in regards to my transitioning. Now, in regards to being referred to as sir, it's like, I don't care about that. Y'all know it's like, well, shit, I'm a handsome, darn flat titty bitch. I'm a flat titty, darn borderline, tenor voice type of bitch. So I'm not going to now granted, they don't see the little scrub of facial hair because I always wear the mask or whatnots. But it's like, if they call me sir, that's not an issue with me. The issue lies with the false expectation of thinking that I can match up to an actual man as far as the physically demanding tasks in the area. Now, it's, of course, my height, I can reach up for stuff and this, that, and the third. All of us, whether cis or trans or male, we can do universal tasks such as cleaning, scrubbing and all that. That's universal. Now, as far as thinking that my physical capabilities are the same as pre-transition, as far as thinking that I can single-handedly pull like high, because we got to pull the stuff out and stuff. Like we got to pull the workstation out and sweep underneath those areas. I no longer have that strength anymore. Y'all know a girl used to be able to easily flip somebody over my shoulder that was 200 plus pounds, lift up somebody 200 plus pounds. Plus, I used to squat 200+ pounds. Girl can't do none of that shit no more, honey. My body has drastically weakened in that area. I can definitely feel that all the time. It pains me to even open up a can of olives. Like, I don't even have the strength anymore to really even open up a can of olives darn good. So it's like thinking that I can darn compare, like you can't put me with 3 guys and think that we are all going to be on the same. No. You're dealing with darn 4 estrogen over here. My estrogen ain't going to match up to testosterone. So I need to have the conversation in regards to that. Also, with the lack of estrogen balance, and this ain't even for me, I'm talking about the lack of estrogen that was on staff that day. It created chaos. For the first time ever, we had 20-minute ticket times, and people was looking at me. And I was like, oh, no. What y'all won't do is blame the new girl for this shit. Because some of the regulars noticed that I'm a new employee. And now they looking through the window. They don't strategically place me in front of the window. They doing the complete opposite of Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, I learned the darn on board last. They started me off on the fries and the nuggets. They then put me over there with learning the salads. Then they darn gonna put me on the bread and table, and the board was last. But for some reason, they put me on the board first and working me backwards. And there's a problem when it now, since I'm the main person that the people see, and they see that I'm new, they automatically assuming that the slow ticket time is because of me. Now, mind you, I done took the time to study the darn sandwiches and stuff, and I was making the stuff at a steady pace. Only thing I don't know how to do yet is actually pull the meat and darn layer the meat and put the thing in the oven just yet. That's not what I was taught. So the boys trying to force me to learn that right there on the spot is like, well, honey, they didn't show me this. They wanted me to graduate up to this point. The thing is, you put the meat and stuff in the darn oven, and then I darn set up the sandwich. I set up the sandwich. I put the toppings on it. I slide you the bottom bread. Then I put the darn stuff on. I cut the darn sandwiches that need to be cut. I put it in the box. I even know how to put the ticket and stuff up and all that. Oh, in addition to that, the darn ticket system won't go down, and the back ordering screen went down. So that added into the darn wait time as well. Because before that, we were still doing fairly well. We was handling about 6-7 minute ticket times when it really should have been like 3.5 to 4 minute ticket times. So we was running a little bit behind beforehand, but not drastically. But between that darn ticketing system going down, the lack of communication between the front and the back of the house, which wasn't normally a problem beforehand because we had quite a few females. And females, are able to converse a lot better than men. The men darn gonna pretty much shove me out the way, and they was rushing making the sandwiches, and they was getting so many callbacks. Remake orders. And then, of course, the people looking at me was like, they must have been a new bitch. Because the new bitch was darn gonna taking her sweet time. Now, it was taking you about 5-6 minutes to get the sandwich from me because I was looking up at that board. And I was making sure, okay, this one requires the Chipotle darn ranch. Okay, this one requires the darn peach barbecue. Okay, this one requires the darn mayo on this side and honey mustard on the top. See, I was following the board. So you was getting a 5-6 minute ticket time for me because I was following the board. It took you a little bit longer to get your sandwich, but your sandwich was accurate when it came to me. They was the ones rushing, doing things off the dome, naturally assuming, okay, this is what the sandwich was. They wasn't looking at all the customizations that the customers had, so they was fixing the sandwich regular, not knowing that, the customer required this sandwich not to have avocado on it, or this customer said that they darn wanted it on this type of bread instead. So when it came to all the darn orders coming back, and that increased the darn wait time even more. Had people waiting 20 minutes in line just to get seen. And then once again, everybody blaming the new girl. Meanwhile, the person who usually does that, he's a manager in training, honey, he darn gonna spilt the whole thing of macaroni on the floor. Now, mind you, this man is about as tall as me. Actually, I think he's taller than me. I think he's like 6'5". And he dropped the whole thing from up in the air. Versus if and I'm trying to think, how in the hell did that shit happen? How the hell did this shit happen? Oh, baby. Honey, when I tell you I was over it, it was 6 o'clock. Now, mind you, supposed to close at 7. He dropped the whole thing. Now, at 5:30, I had to break down that section of the table. I had to drain the waters and all that. I had to cup some of the things and put it in the holding section. But the two main selling items, which was the macaroni and this darn new macaroni type thing, I had to put the containers in there in the holding section. The other containers, I had to draw out some ice, mix with some water, and darn put the containers in the deep freezer. In the walk-in freezer in a chill bath. So I did all that right. He pulled out that darn macaroni. He dropped it from over 6 feet in the air. And it splattered underneath all the machines on the floor. So for the remaining 40 minutes, I took the executive decision to say, hey, Y'all keep pushing me out the way. Y'all, I'm just looking like darn on Barbie over here, and I'm getting the blame. I'm like, well, how the hell are people still blaming me for the sandwiches? And for the past 10 minutes, I just been looking. I ain't been able to touch not one sandwich. So I said, you know what? I can't clean because there's a line out the darn on door, and there's so much movement over here. So it ain't nothing for me to wipe down. I can't. This ain't the time for me to sweep. And there's this whole mess of macaroni on the darn on floor, on the walls. And I'm not trying to be here past 8 o'clock at night because I got to take my hormone medication. So I said, well, let me go ahead and get the darn on squeegee and stuff. And I spent like a good half hour squeegeeing it in the drain and having to pick up clumps of the macaroni and broccoli and throwing it in the trash and stuff. I had to darn on spray down the walls, all this stuff that we normally wouldn't have to do upon closing. Like, there is never a scenario usually where we have to spray down the actual wall and stuff, but considering macaroni spread all up the wall and stuff, I had to clean the walls, and they think I still supposed to pull in a 25% share, and I just spent 40 minutes single-handedly getting this macaroni up off the floor, a macaroni that I didn't even darn gonna spill. Y'all can let, and then I'm the girl of the group. Oh, hell no. Y'all got me fucked. I wanted to say, oh, y'all got me fucked up, honey. Y'all got a girl all the way effed up. If you think I'm putting in 25% after this ordeal, after I done got pushed out the way, had to spend 40 minutes cleaning up that darn old mess that I didn't make, you think I'm about, I did but let me say, the guys, they weren't trying to be irritated, but it just, the situation in itself was irritating to me. So, and like I said, I knew that ish was going to happen. So when she told me to come in today, I was afraid that I was going to be put with the same group, and I was like, oh no. Because I'm starting to learn that the girls that I darn on grew to love are in the morning shift. Now, there was one girl that was darn on the night shift with me. I ain't never seen these other two boys the first day. It was an all-woman crew. You bring in the testosterone, which normally would not be an issue because there's usually a balance. But it's like, oh no. I don't know if I can do that again. And so when I seen the schedule that she got me Sunday 10 to 4, which is good. I finally got a day that I'm not closing for once. I'm scheduled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 2 to close. Now that's where the problem comes in. So I only get to see my doggone girls that I've grown to like for 1 hour, because a lot of them get off around 3 o'clock, 3 to 3:30. So I only get to doggone be around them for 1 hour. And once again, I'm not saying that I can't grow because all the employees have been wonderful to me for the most part. Ain't nobody said no slick stuff or anything, which is amazing because I thought, with me being who I am, I just knew it was going to be that one person, especially when they had two young guys. Two young darn on college boys. I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure there's about to be a darn on transphobic statement somewhere coming. But to my shop, they were both very engaging with me and whatnot. Struck up quite the interesting conversations and whatnot. So I was like, okay. And even old boy guessed where I was successfully from. Normally people always put me from everywhere but here. They put me in Louisiana, darn going Texas, Alabama. He said, oh, you from around here. I was like, oh. He done actually guessed my age onto the spot and everything. I was like it threw me for a loop. So the boy is cool or whatnot. So it's nothing against any employee though. And the employees are phenomenal. All of them. Even the guy that spilled the macaroni. I was irritated with his ass. I looked at him and like, see, now your ass should have stayed in the freaking front and doggone just ran the doggone expo. You come bring your black behind back here and doggone cause me to do some goddamn work that didn't need to be worked. So it was just a combination of the situation, not the people itself, which is a pleasant doggone change. Because y'all know when I was at the Chick-fil-A, I had the girl threatening me talking about she going to whoop my behind and I was going to have to put her ass in the goddamn fryer. It was going to be a darn show enough fist fight down to the Chick-fil-A. So I'm glad it ain't none of that going on. However, I do need to put some ground things in place for my own sanity. Number one, I know I don't have the physical capacity to darn gonna be closing every single night. Between me wanting to be dedicated on a consistent hormone schedule, as far as what I know I need to take my medications, I'm still not trying to get out of closing. It's like I would be willing to even get up early in the morning and darn gonna open to pull in my fair share. It's just number one, and also it's like the late night, me walking late at night. Granted, it hasn't really been an issue yet because everybody that I keep running into is people that know me. But it's like I've had dealt with stalkers and shit in the past, and I've even now to this day I do have people that get quite excessive with your girl, and you wouldn't think that I would deal with that with me being at the level that I'm on. Like, it's like DivaWuan only got 2,000 subscribers, but even back when I had like 600 subscribers, I've had the occasional darn on, the stalker type situation, and me no longer having the physical strength that I had before. Me now being a woman that is, going on 10 months into my transition. Now, yeah, granted, I got the stun gun and whatnots, but I can't carry, and I can't carry my darn gun. If I couldn't carry the gun with me into the establishment because it's a college campus. I can't just put the Glock up in the darn I can't put the Glock up in the darn y'all know the containers, the lockers or whatnots. And then I can't have it on my person or whatnots. That's going to be uncomfortable. Everybody look at me and see that I got a gun on my darn holster or whatnots, not knowing that I got to walk home at night. Now, granted, I stay exactly 1.7 miles from the establishment, but still, it's a good 20-some minute walk nonetheless. And with my history of what I have dealt with, it's like it's really not the best for me to darn feel comfortable to continuously darn be walking at night. So there's also a safety factor I got to think of as well. I would be willing to do it 1 or 2 nights, but it's like don't have me as the designated closer without me having no car first. Now, if I'm still there after April, okay, you can go ahead because I'll be having my car by then. But I'll be having my car towards the end of April because April, honey, I will be requesting about a week or so off because I'm going to have this doggone tracheal shave surgery. After a week, I will be able to go back to work, but I will have to be mandatorily back at the house without me doing much, verbal to the front because my voice has to, it's a 2-week process to fully bounce back from the tracheal shave surgery. So, yeah. I have to have those discussions and let her know about that in advance, so she's not blindsided. So they won't say, "Oh, well, I just snuck this upon them last minute or whatnot." I'm going to give y'all a good month in advance. I'm not going to. We probably won't have the conversation next week, but definitely by the first week of March, we're going to have the conversations that need to be had. But next week for sure, honey, that schedule. I'm definitely going to make it known that, yeah, I originally said that I prefer anything after 9, but if I need to come in early, if I need to be an opener, and that would set me up for better success to be around people who have better communication styles, and that's no shade to the young boys. They 19, 20 years old. I don't expect them to have the same level of expertise as a woman that is in her 50s that had over 20-some years worth of darn going customer service experience, restaurant experience. Done had more experience since before you was born. So I don't expect for you to match up to that. So me wanting to get the best out of this situation while I'm here, I'm thinking, if I present it that way that, let me darn gonna come in more so early in the morning. And I can still do afternoons. And matter of fact, another thing. I don't know what it is with. I'm noticing that there is a thing across the board with, because I've seen a couple other workers say they got 5.5 hours, It's like, why is we doing this where you stretching it out 5.5 hours, just enough where you go where we are not guaranteed a half-hour break? I don't understand that with a company that is able to do that, especially a company that is that is on a university campus where the stuff is considered a good tax write-off. This is not like a mom and pop shop where you are dealing with the burden of the expense of how, especially since the main folks are the students. The students also, because like I said, the two boys are darn on college students. The job, one of my student managers that I've seen, actually two of them are student managers. They work here at the campus. So it's like the job had students in mind. Why is you trying to cut corners where lunch is not being provided? You're working people strategically just long enough not to give health benefits. Which, honey, I don't care about that. I make under $50,000 a year. I want to automatically qualify for the Affordable Care Act any damn way. So it's like you don't need to give me no health insurance. Hell, no anybody that works in a restaurant qualifies pretty much, unless you are darn on regional manager or some shit like that. Any person that works in regular entry level restaurant, you automatically qualify for affordable darn on health care. So it's like that's not the issue with the affordable. Now the dental would be nice, but still the stuff that I need is cosmetic, so that wouldn't darn work out for me anyway. Like I need some porcelain veneers and stuff to get my stuff looking nice and pretty. So it's like I still have to come out of pocket anyway. So with that being said, it's like, why is we cutting corners on breaks? Like, you got me working 3 days back to back to closing, and I do not get the luxury of a darn on half-hour break. Now let me darn on break this down. The food that we have do cost a coin. Some items can cost as much as $15. Now that's to the customer. The wholesale cost is totally different. So the most expensive item as far as cost of goods to the company is probably about $4 on a $15 item. Now at any given day you got probably like 20 employees. So you telling me that a school of this caliber, a historically black college that has been around for over 100 years, that I think even our mayor Mitch Colvin graduated from, you telling me we do not have the resources and funds to darn gonna properly feed the employees to the point where you're cutting corners with giving the hours to allot for a darn gone lunch break? And my thing is this: I'm not asking for more hours. I'm giving 25 hours a week. That I can do with that, because as a matter of fact, once again, even before I got the job, I told y'all that would be the ideal sweet spot for me, because I wouldn't necessarily want to be 40 hours, because the job only pays so much. It's like, I'd rather you give me just enough hours where I'm comfortable, where I can pay some slight bills and stuff, but I'm given just enough flexibility and leniency where I can still build my own stuff back up. Versus it would have been more difficult with the hours, working 40 hours and then working around this demon schedule for the remaining month that she's here. Now, I don't know why the hoe is lollygagging and she can't get up out this bitch come darn on March 1st, considering she ain't paid nothing. She should have enough darn on money to darn on hit the road, Jack Cuddy. But neither here nor there. Filing darn on false, depending on your darn on your tax returns and stuff, and darn gonna getting all $1,000 back, yet you darn gonna can't darn gonna even pay a half of. Let me not even get started on that situation. But yeah, y'all, that's my darn gone dilemma. Oh my God, is it 11:37? Oh God, I'm gonna be itching well into midnight. That's all right. It is what it is. But yeah, y'all, that's where my dilemma is at. It's like, you got 20 employees throughout the day at the most. The cost of goods, even if we doubling up on food, is probably like $10 to the company. And I'm being very generous with that. It's probably not even that much. But let's say $10 times 20. That's $200 a day. Y'all open 7 days a week. $1,400 a week. $5,600 a month. Now, put that in perspective of how many people that they service and the average cost going out is, you know, the cost of goods is like $5, but for that same goods, you're charging the customer about $15. So you're making $10 profit per student, and because regular people can come in as well. I would say on the low end, you're making $2,000 a day. $2,000 a day. So that is what, 14,000 a week, 56,000 a month, and to darn going, you know, give us a decent darn going lunch or whatnot. Even if we cut that in half, 28,000 a month that you're making. 20,000 after you factor in your light expenses and all that, which once again, I'm being very generous with that because technically this is all funded by the school, so you really ain't got no light bill or lease experience, because the lease, you know, the building is underneath the campus, so it's like you're not really dealing with no lease fees. You're not dealing with the light bill like you would typically do with a typical brick and mortar establishment. So everything else for the company is pretty much pure profit for the most part, because the darn on school absorbs that cost on behalf of the, you know, the students, and they get to write that off as a tax write-off for the student on behalf of, you know, they servicing the darn on students and whatnot. But let's say even if they had all that, $20,000 net after all of that, before we deduct the cost of feeding the staff. So let's just say it costs $10 per staff member. It's 20 staff members. That's $200 a day. $1,400. That's $5,600. So after that, you still have a profit range of $14,000 before you subtract to get more stuff in. Now, once again, I want to say, since this falls under the campus, you really supposed to be like, you're not necessarily looking for a profit in this sense. This should lean towards really non-profit, but even if you want to do minimal profit, it's like you still get a significant amount of profit after you factor in costs of goods. Because once again, even with the cost of goods, there's not really a cost to the company, because all of this, because we're contracted for the school, and all of the cost is really being absorbed by the school. So why is you cutting people out of a damn lunch? I mean, you know, it would make for a more productive work day if you have actually real fed, darn on hydrated, darn on staff members. So that's another thing I want to raise issues about, in my professional opinion. And hell, y'all know DivaWuan ain't never been hell. That's why I got my business channel. I'm the one that's willing to take the hit, because I can afford to take the hit, because I've done been down so many times. I already know what it's like at this point, and I bounce back to another opportunity. If me being honest causes me a job, as long as it helps out others down the road, if I have to be the sacrificial lamb, so be it. Just like I've done it with Amazon, just like I've done it with Conduit, just like I've done it with so many other businesses, I will never be complicit in darn on being silenced at the expense of others, when I can use my knowledge and my expertise and my darn on mouth and even my social media platform, if need be, to darn on put pressure on the people that need to have pressure applied to make appropriate change for the betterment of the company and the darn on staff. Because once again, better employees are more productive employees. Well-fed and hydrated employees make for darn going cleaning up at night a lot more easier, because you actually gonna replenish your darn going nutrients throughout the day. So you're not sluggish and tired and drained when it's time, because it's like, oh yeah, you give free drinks throughout the day, but the majority of the drinks are darn going soda, full of darn going artificial sugars and caffeine that's going to give you a temporary high. So by the time it's time to clean, now you going through a crash, because when you consume sugar, it spikes you up. It gives you that false, you know, euphoric high, and then by the time, you know, it's time for the person to get off of work, you darn gonna go to a crash. Now, fortunately for me, I don't drink soda no more. It's going on 3 years since I've had a drink of soda, so I don't have to worry about the crash comparable to others. I consume the tea and stuff instead, and even then I have to be careful with that, even though it's made of pure cane sugar. But you know, balancing it out with appropriate foods that contains vitamins and minerals that can counteract that of the sugar will go a long way. And if it only costs the company about $5,600, and I'm being very generous with the amount because once again, this is a contracted company that works under the university absorbs a lot of the costs on behalf of the darn students. The darn we were put in place for the students, the darn make sure the students have an enjoyable experience while they darn getting their darn education. And also, they darn get side opportunities to work while they simultaneously getting their education, because most, you know, students can't work other jobs that require them to work longer hours and be able to have the flexibility to work around their schedule. Hence why you got these jobs that are created on the campuses, such as the Chick-fil-A, the Starbucks in question that's about to come up, the the place that I'm at, and once again for legality reasons I'm not saying it, but if you are familiar with where I'm from, and you know where I'm at and the time that it takes me to walk to said establishment, by process of elimination, you pretty much can and you know the type of job that I do, you pretty much know where I'm at. So with that being said, it's like, if I have to be the sacrificial lamb, so be it. But I'm going to voice the opinion. I'm not going to be disrespectful with it. I'm just going to be upfront, bold, and honest. I don't know how to be a fake bitch. It's in my DNA. I'm a Capricorn, honey. I'm naturally business driven. Hell, hence why I'm not even really meant for this type of capacity as entry level work. You really need to hire me in the darn customer service department to really get your darn PR and stuff darn right. As far as getting your, you know, the business and plans and all that darn correct, but I had to take a job that fits me, you know, fits me darn getting a coin immediately, honey. I couldn't darn go through no extensive process of trying to audition for a more higher level area, nor do that. Is that my calling? It's just meant for me to, and matter of fact, it's more beneficial for me to go do these types of jobs because it gives me perspective of what it's like to work in that. Because it's like when I worked in the past because I'm backwards, y'all. I started out corporate and then I worked my way down to to the restaurant, honey. Versus most people, they start off with the restaurant and then they work their way up to corporate. I'm a backwards girl, honey. But it makes for a good learning experience because I'm able to put stuff like this on the business channel. And they're going to give y'all these types of... Now, granted, this is on the personal channel. I will reiterate some of this stuff when I reveal the company. This, of course, after I be gone from the company. I give my experience with the company and name everything in more extensive detail as a cautionary tale to know what you're getting into if you go to this specific job or the company in general. Give my professional opinion of what they can do to change it, to make it a better experience, not only for the customers, but for the staff members that darn gonna make the darn company what it is. So I love doing this. Although I want to come to an end because I want the darn finally get to my own business. Because like I said, as an entrepreneur, I am meant to really darn be focusing on my own thing. But in the meantime, as I darn build myself up, and, you know, I have to provide for myself as I'm building myself up. It's like if I can darn you know, do these types of jobs and provide a learning experience simultaneously to somebody that wants to pursue this type of job, I'm all for it. And when I started doing these jobs, I didn't think, I was like, well, shoot, it'll probably only be about 2 or 3 people that'll watch my regular videos that's not pertaining to work from home opportunities. When I done my Chick-fil-A video, I've had thousands of people view the video. When I've done the Pilgrims, when I worked at the chicken plant, thousands of people. Even to this day, even though I have not worked those jobs in years, I still get inbox messages from people saying, hey, can I get some, you know, can you put me on with this, like what they doing now? Not even knowing that I've been long gone from the company. Because they are still coming across my video and, you know, they think it's a new video, then they don't look at, I have to tell them to look at the date or whatnot. But yeah, my videos are still helping out thousands of people to this day, and I'm blessed to be in the position, have the social media presence to darn put that information out to the folks, honey. So even though my darn on business channel only got like 600 subscribers, it's not even monetizable because I only ain't got 1,000 subscribers. It got the watch hours by far because I consistently get like hundreds to thousands of views on all my videos over there. Honey, if only we can darn gonna get that consistency over here, honey. But don't worry, it's coming in the next couple months, honey. As I darn gonna get on my grind and y'all, we change this tacky situation because, honey, if you want change, you got to do change, honey. And I'm ready for the change. And I'm not just talking about the physical change. As I'm changing my exterior, honey, I'm going to be also changing my surroundings. We're not going to remain complacent with these 4 darn on dusty walls, honey. We're going to be back out traveling more and not just traveling in the car within North Carolina because y'all done seen all that. Y'all done seen me travel to Raleigh. Y'all done seen me travel to Jacksonville, North Carolina, to Dunn and Elizabethtown and Robinson County. Y'all done seen me travel so much with Lyft and DoorDash and Uber and provide y'all so many knowledge on those different gig economy, what to look out for, all of that good stuff. It's like, it's now time for me to finally expand even further. It's time for me to now take y'all out of state with me. And I'm not just talking about next door to South Carolina. I'm talking about we're going to finally be going out to Atlanta, Georgia, at least 5 times this year. Yeah, I'm being very aggressive with the number. I'm going to be in Atlanta at least 5 times. And I'm not talking about 5 days total. I'm talking about like 5 separate times. And each time I'm there is going to be multiple days. In total, I want to spend like a total of like a whole month in Atlanta. Now, that's going to be quite aggressive because, like I said, I'm simultaneously trying to, well, this is going to be a guarantee. The surgery for this, laser, I might have to just settle for darn on full body waxing consistently for that. Even with my face, instead of getting a touch up on the face, I go ahead and just start getting waxing on the face now that it's safe for me to get waxing on the face since my hair is so thin now. Hair transplant. I think I'm gonna have to travel to Virginia for that one. I think the doctor that I seen for the hair transplant surgery is in Virginia. So yeah, I'm going to go to him for that. Beverly Hills, California for my tatas. So I'm going to be in California twice this year. I'm going to be in there towards the end of November or early December for the breasts because I want to participate in Mardi Gras come February 2024. If I'm missing out on it this year, but honey, Louisiana, watch out, bitch. Honey, DivaWuan coming with some titties, y'all. Honey, DivaWuan is coming through. I'm going to be honey, when I walk down that motherfucking darn going, it's going to be cold as heck, honey. I'm going to make sure to have me on a faux mink coat afterwards because, and of course, I'm going to have to hire security. Now, I know y'all saying, oh, DivaWuan, you really think you that bitch, honey. You get security. Honey, I'm telling you, my body's already snatched somewhat now, honey. Can you imagine what the girls are going to be like when I darn gonna come with this darn gonna snatch waist, this fat ass, and a good darn gonna set of double D's, bitch. Honey, I'm not, and then the girl, it's going to take some time for the darn going, because for the first couple months, they're going to look cartoonish because of the fact that with me being trans, it takes them longer to drop. Because so for the first 2 weeks, don't be alarmed, y'all. They're going to be looking up the hill. They're going to be looking very round and cartoonish for like the first 2 months. So even going into Mardi Gras, that's actually going to work to my advantage because I'm going to put the little rhinestones up here and I'm going to cover up my areola and nipples with the darn going gems and shit. I'm going to have on the feathers and DivaWuan. I'm going to be sashaying. I'm going to be looking like a gay fabulous bird, honey. I'm going to be looking like a darn on trans darn on peacock down to the darn on New Orleans, honey. I'm still thinking of what color scheme I'm going to wear. Am I going to go for red? Or am I going to go with like a copper or gold? Y'all know gold really does good with my skin tone. It's going to either be red, gold. I don't know if I want to place it. Or I might do black with specks of color throughout, like different color gems all throughout. Or hell, if it's multiple days, I can darn gonna do multiple outfits. But honey, And then I'm going to have to hire one of the girls, the drag queens, to do my darn on costume. Because y'all know DivaWuan don't know nothing about. Honey, I can tell them what I want, but I'm not going to be able to design it. So I'm going to have maybe like Tamisha Amon, honey, from Atlanta, Georgia. And matter of fact, while I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, also simultaneously, I'm building up my darn on connections and shit. So when it comes to my traveling, doing other things into 2024, I can already have stuff set in the works. So whenever I'm in Atlanta, come, you know, down the road this year, I'm going to try to get in contact with people like Tanisha Amon and all that are going to design me old. Because, you know, the house of Amon, honey, that's the house that knows how to do it, bitch. I want the darn going to be styled by the icon Tanisha Amon, honey, if I can darn going to afford her rates or whatnot. So I'm sure I probably could afford it by then. I'm going to have her darn going to design me about 4 sick and nasty outfits, honey. If I can darn going to do a wardrobe change every day, and I can sashay down the street and show off this body. Now, I hope my abs will be back, because y'all know, as the swelling goes down, they say the swelling then transitions to, so for the first month, I'm not going to really be able to show like my stomach and hips, because the swelling goes down towards the stomach and hips. I'm going to look like I have love handles and, you know, a frumpy shape for like the first month post surgery. But after that first month, going into, that's why I said November to December, because by February, all that swelling to be gone. The titties will still be sitting pretty high for probably another month or so before they start dropping. It takes up to 6 months. Hell, sometimes as long as 9 months for the girls to fully drop into their appropriate position or whatnot. I think for my body and the way my breasts are growing in, I'm going to probably need like 450 cc's to get my desired cup size. I would do a whole separate video on the type of breasts in the shape and everything that I want. But yeah, when I go through Mardi Gras 2024, honey, the girls are going to be out and proud, honey. I'm going to be having some beads, because I ain't trying to show off the snake down there, honey. So I'm going to have on the thong. You're going to see all the back door, honey, but I'm going to strategically cover up the front door with some gems and all that. So yeah, y'all, I got my whole travel plan set up, honey. And this darn on job right here is the stepping stone forward. So once again, I'm blessed for the opportunity of the job, because it's setting up the way to get me to what I need to be. So even though I got complaints and grievances for the job, I'm not taking it to heart, because I know where I'm going. This is not my darn gonna end all be all. But for the people who need to be there at the moment for whatever reason, even if they darn gonna retire from there, you got people who are, you know, working as they retire, because unfortunately this darn gone country is so darn gone corrupt. You got people that can't even retire because of the fact that, you know, most jobs don't pay a livable wage or anything like that. They cutting corners on darn gone providing health insurance. Hell, they don't even want to provide you a damn free lunch if they can help it. It ain't even coming out your pocket, and you darn gonna trying to cut corners and darn gonna set hours in such a way where your darn gone staff members don't even have a darn going on free lunch. So if I can voice and be the change to darn gonna make stuff like that, you know, better for people that's coming behind me or people who are still there while I'm there, I don't mind taking a hit, because that's just the type of girl I am. Because it's like, how do I expect blessings to come on to me if I don't use what I know in my position and stuff in any way that I can to help on to others? So for me to darn go and get my blessings and darn on travels and stuff and be successful in what I do, it's like I need to darn go pay that forward to other people as well. Because not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur. For people who have to work jobs for the long-term home, they definitely deserve fair rates. They deserve fair working conditions. They need the appropriate medical accommodations when need be or whatnot, and should not feel like they will be inconvenienced by darn going informing said management of those medical conditions. Like myself. It's like, shoot, I feel that even with me having all this background, I still feel nervous. But I had to finally talk myself up today. I was like, after I darn gonna sat in this bed for over an hour, I cried and went through a whole thing of gummy bears and, you know, Pringles. I said, DivaWuan, get your shit together. And granted that I was also mourning the loss of my grandmother and everything. Even after 14 years, it don't get easier. You just learn how to adjust to the pain. I said, okay, you done did your darn on grievances. You done did your darn on crying and bitch fit. Now it's time to come up with some work. What we going to do? So next week, I done came up with a game plan. Or if I can talk to her Sunday, honey, we can have the holy talk on darn on your God's day that your God made. Because y'all know I'm not religious. Whole nother story. But yeah, that is it, y'all. I know y'all came in here for one, but y'all know how DivaWuan do. We start off the video with one thing and we end up putting about several other things in it, but we bring it all the way back home, y'all. So that is it, y'all. This video, like normal, is longer than expected. I know y'all really darn going getting a kick out of this for the folks that like to listen to me in the background, you know, podcast style. Oh, y'all enjoy these long videos, honey. Y'all, because y'all about to see like 4 darn on 50-minute videos before y'all even get up to this one. So y'all being spoiled rotten. And then by the time you get to this one, within a day or two, y'all going to have a whole 2-hour live stream where I reiterate some of this stuff. I get y'all reactions in real time. We also talk about some other stuff. We talk about my love life, who I'm currently crushing on. Should I still, you know, try to pursue this person, or should DivaWuan move to this direction? Y'all know DivaWuan got to fulfill y'all in on so much more. In addition to, like I said, I done gave y'all a taste of my travel plans, but we're going to go into more extensive detail on the live stream. I want to choose what it, you know, y'all know how I do. Look out next week where I'm going to drop the poll, whether it's going to be Thursday or Friday. Y'all want me to do the live stream, and we're going to go from there. But anyways, I thank y'all to the folks who listen to this throughout and all the way to the end. Extra claps to the ones who listen throughout the end. It is now going on 12 o'clock. It's the next day. It's now time for me to go ahead and get my exercise in and call it a night. So feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.